This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is James Arnold Taylor, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi. I have a good feeling about this.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to CWK Live. This is your weekly spoiler-free place for live Star Wars community and conversation. I'm your host, Dan Zare. Thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. And yes, I know, you noticed, the beard is gone. I shaved it as soon as I came home from Europe because it was warm here, and let's just say my students were less than thrilled. I got a lot of comments like, Mr. Zare, your face gave me a jump scare. Mr. Zare, did you lose a bet? All that kind of stuff. So here we are doing our thing, talking some Star Wars, and what a show we have for you tonight. Let's bring in our friends. This is the way. It's CWK Day. Hello, Minta. It's on a Monday. That's right. Happy Monday. Thanks to everyone who is joining me. And this is extra incentive for you to join us tonight because of the big giveaway, which we'll do here in a little bit. Mary says, welcome home, Dan. Great job last weekend. Thank you so much, Mary. I really appreciate that. It was quite an experience and a lot of fun. So I appreciate that, and I'm thankful for you joining along. Terry, bright suns to you, buddy. We're getting closer to the Star Cruiser, aren't we? Jason, what's up? Henrik and I are excited for the show tonight. Great to see you. Darren says, made it back. Yes, I did, and I'm so excited to be back. David is here. Hello, buddy. Says, hey, Dan. Hey, CWK family. Great to see you. Jen says, welcome back. Thanks for covering Celebration so thoroughly. Well, thank you, Jen. I'm glad to hear you say that. There's so much to do, and I'm just a team of one, but I did my best to try to bring you a nice little snapshot of everything. Julia, welcome back. Great podcast. Thank you, Julia. I really appreciate that. Let's take a look at what we're doing tonight. So what do we have? We've got your top 5 moments from The Mandalorian, Guns for Hire, and The Spies. So we've got both of them. And you could get a chance to win Bo-Katan's helmet. And, of course, your comments and questions. I know there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Kathy's here. Hello, Kathy. Great to see you. She says, looks like you had a great time in London. Yes, it was awesome. It was so fun. It was quite an experience. Lots of great conversations and meeting listeners new and a long time. And it was just a great time. All right, let's go ahead and go to what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week. All right, what's brewing in the world of Star Wars this week? What's going on with my hair? We have a lot of news from Star Wars Celebration, which we will get to, I'm sure, throughout the show. Tom and Corey and I recorded a little recap, but basically the big news to me is the 3 movies that are coming out, and we don't know when. We don't know much about them except who's directing them and where they sort of take place in the world of Star Wars. We've got James Mangold, who's directing the new Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, film set 25,000 years before the events of The Phantom Menace, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Dave is here. Hello, Dave. Good to see you, buddy. So we've got that, and James Mangold promised something of biblical epic proportions, which I like. I really like that idea. And then Dave Filoni will finally get his own live-action Star Wars film set during the world of The Mandalorian, basically, and the Empire trying to come back and the New Republic sort of spreading its wings, albeit haphazardly if you've been paying attention to The Mandalorian, which I know you are. And then the one that set everybody in the room afire was the announcement that Daisy Ridley was coming back as a Jedi Master, Rey. And she's taking the Jedi into a whole new era of what it means to be a Jedi. Dave says, really happy for Dave Filoni getting a live-action movie and pumped for us all to see it. I know. The energy in that room was just really incredibly palpable. And he just seems so legitimately taken aback by all the things that have happened. And the outpouring of love and support he's got, not only from the fans, but also from his peers that he works with so devoutly to create this incredible galaxy that we love so much. So that's the big news. We got to see the Ahsoka trailer. I was fortunate to get to see a little bit of extra stuff. So I got to see Thrawn, his face. I got to see Sabine fighting with a green lightsaber. I got to see a lot of cool stuff that you're going to really be excited about. I was also fortunate, if you heard my recaps, I got to see about 6 minutes of the middle of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and it was spectacular. It was Indiana Jones. What can you say? And there's some great quips and some amazing action sequences, and Harrison being Harrison, which you gotta love. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start off with our top fives. Top 5 moments from Chapter 22 and Chapter 23 of The Mandalorian. You've got Guns for Hire and The Spies, which is what we're going to be talking about. Jason says, isn't there supposed to be a Rogue Squadron movie, or is that not happening anymore? I believe it was either The Hollywood Reporter or Variety said that is currently no longer in the mix. So I don't think they are focusing on that right now, unfortunately. Minta said the Ahsoka trailer was amazing. Yes, it was. It was really remarkable. It's basically turning out to be the next season of Rebels. It feels like that anyway, which is more than fine with me. Darren says it seems to be shelved. Yep, and that's in reference to the Rogue Squadron movie. I think you're correct, Darren. Kathy says, bad baby. I actually got a great shirt that I don't have with me right now. I think it's in the dryer. But it's from the Celebration store. And it's of an Anzelian and Grogu together. And it says, no bad baby, no squeezy. And it's really fun. I'll have to wear that next week. So let's do it. Top 5 moments from The Mandalorian, Guns for Hire, and The Spies. We'll, of course, save the contest for the end of the show. But I'm not going to forget, believe me. I got it right here. There you go. Now, there is a little hole in the box, as you can see. And that is how it came to me. So I apologize for that. But it has not been opened. And the helmet is incredible, of course, because Hasbro made it, and Hasbro does a lot of great stuff with these, as does our friends at Denuo Novo. Terry says, definitely a great time to be a Star Wars fan. Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and talk about Guns for Hire first. Number 5 for me is Jack Black. Look, I know there were some people that were quite upset about some of these cameos, and I don't really get into that stuff. What I saw was Jack Black, who I love. And the only thing that was missing for me is that he didn't sing, because I love when Jack Black sings. So I had a great time seeing him. He aped and hammed it up like he does, and it was sort of understated in a Jack Black way, and I just thought it was fun. So that's my number 5. Minta's 5 is the major cameos of Jack Black, Lizzo, and Christopher Lloyd. It was surprising to see them all in the episode, and I was secretly hoping that we hear Christopher Lloyd say, "Great Scott." How did I not think of that? That's a good call. I'm sort of glad he didn't, because that would have been very, too on the nose, but it also would have been fun as well. Number 5 for Darren is, it was sweet seeing Christopher Lloyd. Yes, it was. And David, similar. Great Scott seeing Christopher Lloyd. Awesome. Jen's 5 is Bo-Katan's confession, knowing she was carrying this guilt and shame all season lends so much weight to her arc. Yeah, it does, and I was glad to see that. 5 for Jason is Sir Grogu, Knight of the Ancient Order of Independent Regencies. Hendrix, number 5, you had me at Battle Droids, which was Din. It's great. Mary's 5, the cameos were interesting. Christopher Lloyd was the best one. Julie's 5 is Grogu jumping into Lizzo's hands. That was very funny. Man, I wish tomorrow was Wednesday. Dave's number 5 is Battle Droids. Roger. Love me some Battle Droids. Brian's 5 is reference to Dooku being a visionary who knew there were still followers left. That was really surprising and interesting. Terry's 5 is Christopher Lloyd's appearance. So that's definitely been the majority of our number 5 so far, is just seeing these great guest stars, which was pretty fun. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4 I have is Mando as Gumshoes. I like the fact that they two had basically a little bit of a detective work they had to do. They go down into a mortuary, which you knew droids would be in a mortuary, and have to go talk to some patrons in a droid cantina, make their way around. There's, of course, a shootout, but it was just fun. It was definitely a different in tone from other Star Wars things, but I still liked the premise and them taking a risk like that. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. David's 4 is the film noir feel during Din and Bo's pursuit of why the droids were acting out. You just explained that a lot better than I did, David. Film noir is a good call. 4 for Dave is the look of the planet reminds me of Epcot, kind of. Oh, yeah. I like that. That makes sense. 4 for Jason is a detective-style storyline and made for a fun episode. And then next 4 is Chasing the Battle Droid, which was awesome. Mary's 4 is the Battle Droid. So much fun hearing Matt Wood doing his Roger, so good. Julie's Law and Order style episode, Dun Dun Sound. That's a good connection too. Kathy's number 4, she simply says, "This is the way." Minta's 4, seeing the old battle droids as service droids was somewhat humorous, but disheartening when they revealed that they felt there was no point in living if they weren't serving people. Yeah, that was very sad and profound, honestly. Terry's 4 is Din's conversation with the Ugnaughts. I have spoken. I should have talked about that on Coffee with Kenobi when we broke down this episode. Or actually, that was just me because I was just about to get on a plane. But I thought that was pretty important. Let's go to 3. 3 for me is the droid quandary. And what I mean by that is this notion that Minta talked about how the droids felt like they needed to be defined by serving people and for helping. And I find that interesting because that seems contrarian to the idea of programming and just being a mindless, a blank slate of the creators. So, are they saying that droids have souls and affection and emotions and needs? Some sure seem to act that way. I don't know, it was really kind of vague and ambiguous and fascinating, so I really like that they went there. Excuse me, I get a drink. I'm losing my voice already. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at here? Aminta, you had me at Battle Droids. Brian's 4 was using a distraction to get Bo and Din away from everyone. Test and look at the droids. Remind me of Obi-Wan and Utapau. Oh, yeah. David 3 is Grogu's front flip to get more snacks. Was pretty cute. Jason 3 is a chase of the battle droid. I don't recall ever seeing one run like that. I don't either. I don't think it's ever happened, honestly. Next number 3 was the Duchess. Jen, I thought we were doing a combined top 5 for both episodes. No worries. My 3 for this episode would be Din kicking the battle droids. That was funny. No, that's okay. First, when you said that, Jen, when you gave yours, I was starting to think if I confused the episodes, which is very possible. But all good. Dave's 3 is seeing Bo's old crew back in action. It was awesome. Mary's number 3 is Grogu being knighted. That was fun and silly. Julie's number 3 is the bar where outcast droids commiserate about being replaced by humans. Again, such a interesting and unusual concept. Really fun. And really thought-provoking. Let's go to number 2. The Mando face-off when Bo-Katan and X-Wolves fight it out. It was great. Well choreographed. The stunt work was outstanding. The effects were good. The music was exciting. It was great. Very, very tense and very effective. They both were quite powerful and held their own, but at the end, the way that it ends up was also awesome. All right. Let's see here. 3 for Terry was discovering the code leading to what was going on. Excellent. Maintenance 2 is a great callback to Queel as Din said to the Ugnaughts, "I have spoken." I'm still not sure about that. I mean, I like to think that was an Ugnaught thing so much as it was a Queel thing, but maybe I must be wrong. Number 2 for Mary is the droid bar. Blake is here. What's up, man? Good to see ya. Jason's 2 is Christopher Lloyd in Star Wars. Great Scott. Henrik's number 2 is Grogu waving goodbye to the Duchess. That was cute. Julie's next one is the code break. Dave's next one is the Axe-Wolves confrontation, similar to my number 2. And Dave's the same fight between Bo and Axe. Terry, the way the droid stopped when Din entered the droid bar, that was cool. Imagine him doing that during season 1. It would have been a lot different. Brian the Resistor, the opposite of the Cantina on Tatooine. Yes, it was. What an interesting name, too, the Resistor. Are there any other 2s I missed? Please add your comments in if you would like to. Let's see. Anybody else? I'll give it a second. I'm going to turn this light down. It's a little bright. That's a little better. All right, number 2, how Bo-Katan was finally accepted. That's pretty cool. That leads to my number 1. Number 1 is a new wielder of the Darksaber. I did not expect, ever since the end of Season 2, I was wondering, will Bo-Katan get the Darksaber back? Should she get the Darksaber back? Are she and Mando going to fight? They didn't have to. And the Mandalorian really plainly spelled it out. You know, I was defeated. She defeated my captor. Therefore, she's got the blade. And the fact that works, one, is to the letter of the law. It also shows how it's kind of an outdated concept to a degree. But there is an idea of worthiness and tradition. And there's a lot more to it than that even. But I like it. It works for me. And I think it's perfectly appropriate. Plus, when she wields the Darksaber, as we've seen throughout this season, she's great with it. Whereas Mando can barely lift it. So I thought that was really cool. Pardon me, I've got a bit of a cough. That's why we have a cough button here. Kathy says, I thought when they entered the droid bar, they would say, we don't serve their kind. You know what? That would have been kind of fun. That would have been fun. Days number 1 is Din explains why Bo was the true owner. Was awesome. Jason's 1 is Bo-Katan ascending to leadership of all the Mandalorians. I really like what they've done with her character this season. I'm glad they made a legitimate way for her to claim the Darksaber. Me too. Number 1 for Henrik. The challenge between Bo-Katan and Axe Woves. Excellent choice. Terry's number 1 is Bo-Katan appearing to find purpose again when she wielded the Darksaber. It was an epic shot, wasn't it? Minda's 1 is Return of the Queen. It was honorable that Din was able to return the Darksaber to Bo, explaining that it was taken from him in battle and she was able to use it to strike it down, thus being accepted by her old crew again. That's right. Well said. Darren's 1 is a reveal of the number and types of ships that Bo-Katan had gathered. She originally gathered. That's right. The 1 for Mary is the final scene of the episode with the handover of the Darksaber, which is so cool. Number 1 for Julie. Bo receiving the Darksaber with an analytical explanation. Rules of war. There you go. Josh is here. Josh says there's a lot of lawyering in that scene. We discovered that the Mandalorians have an unwritten constitution. How interesting. What an interesting perspective. Brian's number one is Bo getting the Darksaber back. 1 is for David C. My co-host Aaron Harris' statement weeks ago that Bo is already the rightful owner of the Darksaber after defeating Erected Mech. He's confirmed. Oh yeah. Nice. I didn't even think about that. Aaron leading the pack. Jen's number 1. Didn't support Bo's leadership. I know the loophole approach wasn't to everyone's liking, but I think his support of her is just as heroic as being the leader himself. So do I. It's not just all about this barbarian concept of must win in battle. It's a very outdated concept of what it means to be a leader. Kathy's number 1 is also love the Darksaber. The Darksaber is great. My favorite, I think it's my favorite legacy lightsaber too. Minta is honorable mention that little moment when the Mon Calamari Prince and the Quarren Space Captain kind of had a brief Romeo and Juliet moment. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Some people really, really like that for sure. So cool. All right. Well, let's go ahead and transition into the next one. Because not only are we looking at Chapter 20, but we're also looking at Chapter 23, which is quite an epic one. This is called The Spies. Now, before we talk about our top 5s here, Blake texted me something that he noticed online. Blake, I'm assuming you're still with us, buddy. When you get a chance, please type in the comments what you have interpreted The Spies to mean, because I think it's pretty insightful. It's much more profound than just the idea of someone being a spy and sneaking around. I think it's has much more weight and literary merit to it. So while you were thinking of that, if Blake doesn't get a chance to do that, I will just share it with you. But let's go to number 5. It's a probe droid for me. Nothing really exciting or meaningful, but I love probe droids. So seeing it there, I do think it's funny that this droid was somehow supposed to be incognito, because a probe droid is not an incognito thing in any way, shape, or form. But it was cool, and there's a lot of gravitas to when you see one of those things. So the probe droid for me is my number 5. Feel free to add your number 5 in the comments below. Dave's 5 is the return of Moff Gideon and the introduction of the Shadow Council, which was so cool. As you may have heard on the show, I got to see the opening of this in the panel, and then later that night we got to go back and actually watch the whole episode, and both times everyone was just, holding their breaths and hanging on every word. It was really well done. Really well done. Terry's number 5 is a probe-droid interaction. Nice seeing another way that they worked. I agree. 5 for Jason is Bad Baby, No Squeezy. And Hendrix is talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is cool. Minta's 5, the Empire trying to rise from the ashes with Moff Gideon leading the helm. Okay, here it is. This is what he said. Blake said the spies of the Mandalorians in the search party, it was like the Israelites spies in the Bible, Book of Numbers, scouting the Promised Land, who were referred to as spies. Blake says, it wasn't my idea, but the moment I heard it, I thought that was the inspiration. I like that idea. I think that's pretty profound, and that works for me. But we'll see what happens. So thank you for sharing that, Blake. Brian's 5 is Mandalorians returning to Mandalore. Excuse me a second. I'm going to get another drink and cough. Okay. Thank you. 5 for Mary. Anzellion's bringing in... Oh, dear. Anzellion's bringing in IG-12 to Grogu. And then when he gets out, the droid, he says, no, Squeezy. Bad baby to Grogu. Then Grogu just repeats yes and no at various times. Good comedic relief in the episode. Absolutely. Julie's 5 is a probe droids and the Empire throwback. It was pretty cool. Ross's 5 is the depths of Coruscant. Love it every time. Blake's 5 is Coruscant. Never get tired of that location. And Dave's 5 is all those Mando ships. Excellent. Let's go to number 4. I put ominous meeting. And I'm talking about the Shadow Council meeting at the beginning. I'm serious. When we watched this in that arena, and you walk by these mysterious suits of armor. Are they droids? Are they armor? Are they statues? What's going on? And everyone appearing and then hearing Pelion and finally a mention of Thrawn and Moff Gideon getting kind of puffing out his chest over the whole thing was really extraordinary. And what a great intro. It's like everything we've been waiting for happened in Spies in this episode. And it happens at the beginning. Mary says, thank you. Came on with a little good old-fashioned con crud from Celebration. We've all been there. You know, it's possible. I've never ever gotten con crud before. I think it's just a cold. I don't know. I will say I work, as you know, Mary, being a retired teacher, I work in a Petri dish. So it wouldn't surprise me if I got it there too. Terry's number 4 is no, no, no. I know what that is. Minta's 4 is the joining of the 2 Mandalorian tribes was a great moment to show they were truly on the same page of returning to Mandalore. Yes. 4 for Julie is too young to work heavy machinery. Right on. David's 4 is getting much needed info from Bo-Katan about what was happening, leading to Moff Gideon getting the Darksaber. Yes, yes, yes. Mary's 4 is Grogu stopping Paz and Axe from fighting. Didn't say he didn't learn that from him. His Jedi morals are showing up. Yeah, that is great. I should have put that in my list and got rid of the probe droid. I like that. That is a really important moment. Dave's IG-11 is Grogu's new mode of transportation. He's still protecting him, yes. And now he's IG-12. And what a cool action figure that would be. And Dave, I know you will be purchasing that, as will I. Number 4 for Jen is Moff Gideon's return. His villain agenda is so compelling because he's creating a perversion of the Mandalorians. His explanation of taking the best of the Mandos and Jedi echoed Dr. Pershing's cloning TED Talk. You know, it really did. Blake's 4 is the cinematography. I think visually this was maybe the best shot episode of The Mandalorian in general. You know, I got no problem with that. It was really, really beautifully shot. Number 4 for Jason. Grogu's new ride and how much fun he had with the yes and no buttons was outstanding. Hendrix 4 is so, they're on our side? Grief Karga's droid. Yeah, that was fun. Number Brian, the Shadow Council is his number 4. Ross. Brendel Hux on the Shadow Council. If this is Armitage's father from the Aftermath books, he is vile. Yes, he is. And it's played by Downell Gleason's brother, which is pretty cool. The Mulders are here. Hello, friends. Good to see you. It says, evening all, an unexpected shift change has us both home for a change. Well, that's great. Glad to have you. Greg is here as well. The Shadow Council loves seeing it's all connected. Yes, fabulous. Good deal. Great to see you both. Now we're getting even more people than we usually do on Facebook Live. So I'm thrilled to see all of you. So nice to see everyone. Let's go ahead and jump into number 3. Joining the fight. The sequence where they're all standing around and recruiting, and Bo-Katan is trying to get people to get together so they can go to Mandalore and try to take back their planet and sort of the tension of who's volunteering to show up on which side. And of course, the Mandalorian is first. But I just really like the execution of that scene and how it played out. I thought it was very well done. Very well paced, too. PT McNiff is here. Hello, bud. Good to have you. He says the Praetorian Guards. Yes. They're awesome. 3 for Mary is the Shadow Council with Pelion from the original Thrawn trilogy and Brendel Hux from Aftermath and the Phasma book. Yes, he's a big part in Phasma, for sure. Darren's 3. The conversion of IG-11 into IG-12. That Grogu could remote control with that yes/no button. Grogu gets it down how to use those buttons real fast and quite effectively, too. 3 for Aminta is Grogu using IG-11 as an Iron Man type suit. Was just the comic relief we needed. It was clear that this will be a headache-inducing toy to Din Djarin. It had my husband and I laughing to the point of tears. Yeah, Mason cracked up on that thing. It was so fun. 3 for Dave. Axe going for help. What was that all about, and where did he go? That is a great question. Dave's number 3 is Gideon's new Beskar-wearing, jetpack-wearing troopers who are pretty tough. Yes, I need an official name for them. They are cool. Terry's 3 is Brendel Hux, who I learned later is Armitage Hux's father. That's right. Thought he was General Hux from the sequels. No, he is the father. Kathy says the Praetorian Guards were amazing. Yes, they really were. Excuse me a second. I'm muted? Oh, no. I wonder how long was I muted for? I don't even remember. Let's just say I read a lot of stuff. How about that? Let's see. Brian's 3. The introduction of Pelion and Brendel Hux. Sorry about that, everybody. Lots of people tell me I'm muted, so thank you. I've got so many. I got so many comments here, and I couldn't get to them all. That's a good problem to have. Julie's number 2. Grogu in IG-12 reminds us of how much of a child he still is. He has much to learn with a new toy and saying no. All parents know that all too well. Yes, we do. Yes, we sure do. Let's see. Dave said that he's still reading. I'm glad that you were still reading along. So you still got your comments posted on here. So when people watch on Facebook or on Coffee with Kenobi's YouTube channel, you can see everything. All right, let's go to number 2. For me, it's Bo's confession. Jen brought it up earlier. I'll simply say it was a really beautiful, touching moment, an honest bit of vulnerability for both Bo-Katan and for the Mandalorian, and her owning her mistakes, perceived mistakes, and real ones. And Bo and Mando basically saying, "Hey, I'll follow you until your song is not sung anymore." It was just so much respect. It was really beautiful and powerful. Hey, I remember to unmute. How about that? Josh's 4 was the glass ceiling. Looked like an ice sailing. Oh, the glass sailing. Yes. 2 for Dave is so many new action figures. I know, where are we going to put them? Minta's 2 is the Shadow Council. It's a chilling moment of history. And the very mention of Thrawn makes me believe that we'll see him before the Ahsoka series. Well, that would be cool. Darren's 2 is Grogu coming between Paz and Axe to stop their fight. Shows Grogu's growth and his maturity, too. Josh's 3 was Grogu in IG-12. Terry's 2. The armorer leaving with the wounded back to the main fighter seems suspicious for what happened afterwards. We'll see. I'm not a big speculator, but who knows? 2 for David is Grogu's new ride. IG-12 opens up a lot, forgive the pun, in terms of character development for Grogu. Yes, it does. That's a good pun. 2 for Greg is Paz Vizsla's death. A noble end to this character. Love the detail of the gun overheating. That was powerful. It's cool they made this guy into someone meaningful for us as fans. Jen, everything with Grogu and IG-12. Yes. Number 2 for Murray, the reveal of Gideon's lair and how he assimilated himself and troopers into the Mandalorian culture. Brilliant. And frightening. 2 for Jason, Grogu breaking up the pointless fight between Paz and Axe. Looks like his Jedi training is still with him. Yes, it does. And Hendrix 2 is Grogu riding around on IG-12. Kathy, the power chips full of Mandos. Never saw that coming. That was an awesome surprise. Ross's 2 is Paz Vizsla's song will not be written and sung. What a tragic and heroic moment for the good of Mandalore. Hear, hear. The Mulders number 2, discovering the Mandalorians still live on Mandalore, even if beaten down and in small numbers. It was surprising and inspiring. Blake's too, the Shadow Council now. Not only is that the coolest name ever, but it's cool to see how Imperials have become what the Rebels were pre-New Republic, all underground. Oh, that's right. Good call. What a good connection. PT's number 2 is Grogu and IG-12. Hopefully another incoming action figure. Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be. I'm looking at my retro ones to see if how that would fit. Brian's 2 is the moment that Bo complimented Din on how Grogu broke up the fight. But Din says that he didn't teach that to Grogu. Yeah, that's right. He's just a good person and has got that Jedi-ness too. 2 for Josh. The tribe's coming together from one point on a high-altitude flight to call for help on Paz's last stand. That's right. Speaking of last stand, let's see number 1. Will this finally be the time we all tie? I doubt it. My number 1, Praetorian Guards. I got to tell you, when those 3 show up, and we were in that arena at Celebration Europe, the place just, I have goosebumps. The place gasped and screamed, and it was like watching a professional wrestling event where suddenly this big, massive heel breaks into the arena, into the ring, and defeats the hero of the wrestling match. It was so powerful. So powerful. My gosh. I'll never forget it. It was really quite a moment. Let's see. Number 1 for Minta is Paz Vizslá's last stand. It was amazing and heartbreaking. Standing his ground against the new and improved troopers was amazing. And the Praetorian Guards, and he fought till his last breath. He was a valiant hero. Yes, he has nothing to be ashamed of. He was amazing. Number 1 for Greg. Moff Gideon just owning the moment. The only thing was missing was me. He's coming to the character so well, such a great villain. He is. Hard to make an impactful villain in a mythology where some of the villains are some of the most iconic in the history of stories. But Moff Gideon is really holding his own. The Molders, number 1 is Paz Vizslá's sacrifice. This landed so differently for us, not sad, but heroic. The Praetorian Guards remain a secret. Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, heroic is a great way to explain it. 2 for Dave is Mando and Grogu separated again, but this time Mando needs Grogu to save him. That's right. David's number 1 is Moff Gideon's villainous monologue about his plans to create the ultimate army from the most important aspects of Jedi, Mandalorians, and cloning. He'd make a great James Bond villain, wouldn't he? Darren's number 1 is a reveal of Moff Gideon's base plus those troopers. Number 1 for Ross, what means more to me is honor and loyalty and character. These are the reasons I serve you, Lady Kreese. Yeah, just beautiful stuff. Number 1 for Terry is Paz's death, not knowing exactly what species he was. I was hoping he could heal in time, but pretty much know he's likely gone. Such a warrior. Yeah, oh yeah, he's got to be. Julie's number 1, same as mine, the Guards. Number 1 for Jen is your song is not yet written. I will serve you until it is. This told us as much about Din as it does Bo. A huge character moment for both of them. Absolutely. Really well presented and orchestrated. Number 1 for Jason, the intense firefight between the Mandos and Gideon's forces. Paz's last stand and Din's commitment to Bo-Katan. Honor, loyalty, and character above all things, setting up for a powerful season finale. And next number 1 is Mando telling Bo-Katan that he serves her. That was awesome. For the Molders, Paz wasn't going down without the fight of his life, and after taking out all the other troopers, incredible. Yeah, he fought like the most amazing samurai. PT, the reveal of Gideon having been bunkered on Mandalore and the ways in which he's pulling strings from there. Amazing. Number 1 for Blake is Moff Gideon. While I feel like he's been underutilized this season, Giancarlo always puts on a show. I've been to him in person. The fact that such a nice man could play such an amazing villain shows his talent. Yeah, and I'm sort of glad that we had to wait that long because to me it makes the payoff more powerful, but I agree. It would be great to see him more frequently too. Mary's number 1 is just like Josh's number 2. It was inspiring as a group supported Bo and they got into the fight, but the Praetorian Guard just annihilating Paz was so impactful. Paz's sacrifice was so heroic. All right, Brian, the reveal of Gideon's new armor. What a way to intimidate an adversary by using their own unique traits. And Kathy, Moff Gideon, who doesn't like a great bad guy? And he is a great bad guy. All right, excellent job, everybody. Next week, of course, well, just a couple of days, we're going to see the finale of The Mandalorian Season 3. So your top 5 moments for The Mandalorian Chapter 24 will be next week. Alex is here. Hey, Alex. He says, sorry I'm late to the party. Good to see you, Alex. Hope everything's going great with you and your family. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. All right, so now I know why you're here. Besides talking with us about, these amazing episodes of The Mandalorian, hanging out with members of our Star Wars community, it's time to reveal the big prize. I'm giving away the Mandalorian Bo-Katan 1/1 scale Hasbro Black Series helmet. This is going out to one of you. I'm going to mail it out tomorrow. All right, let's see. Minta says she's not ready for Mandalorian to end. I'm not either. Dave wants to know if I'm going to Japan. Well, it's a little early to know. I would certainly like to, but yeah, I'm going to have to save a lot of credits before then. What about you? Darren wants to know what was my favorite moment of Celebration Europe. The Lucasfilm panel was pretty great, but honestly, just walking around and seeing friends, doing the podcast stage was wonderful. It was really fun. A lot of fun stuff. Terry says, I see in the intro you have a C-3PO head displayed. Is that a micro machine or replica? That is actually a 1/1 scale Bluetooth speaker that I got years ago. Was there something you really wanted to do at Celebration that you didn't get to do? Sleep, I think. Sleep. I was pretty busy. But no, I feel like I got to do everything that I wanted to do. I was very fortunate. I got into all the panels I needed to get into. I got into the store. I got to talk to people, so it was really nice. Alex, am I worried that any of the films that were announced at Celebration will be canceled or pushed back? I'm not. Because they went through all that trouble to bring those directors and those actors there. I just feel like they're not going to do that. I just don't. I think we'll be okay. A two-parter. Have you watched Picard Season 3? It's beautiful. Also, have you watched the Mario Brothers movie? Seen it twice and loved it. Wow. I've not seen Picard Season anything. Not on purpose. I just haven't. I heard it's great. And I haven't seen the Mario Brothers movie yet, but I know that it's going to be awesome. Coolest item I saw at Celebration this year? Seeing those Adventure series, which is the Black Series Indiana Jones figures, was great. Seeing the life-size chopper that's going to be in Ahsoka was pretty cool. Dave says they're heavily considering Japan. It would be great, but I would need to go for more than just that. If I'm going to go all the way to Japan, I would need to spend some time actually in the country. And with my work schedule at school, that might be difficult. Ross sets an 8-day streak on Duolingo for Japanese. Very good. If I could host a stage at Celebration with a topic, yes, list of my choice, what would I choose? Wow. I mean, honestly, I love that question. I would host anything. I would host the main one, introducing Kathleen Kennedy and everybody. I would love to do that so much. I think that would be a blast. It'd be great to do a one-on-one conversation with Harrison Ford. I'm thinking very, very big pie in the sky here, but hey, why not? We're among friends. I think it'd be great to do a retrospective of Rebels with the cast of Rebels. I think that'd be fun too. Best selfie I got with someone? Christina Ariel, maybe. I got a great one with someone who cosplayed as Mando and Bo-Katan, which is pretty cool. What'd you do on the fly back? I slept, man. I had to go from London to France to Detroit, and Detroit to Chicago. And on the way from France to Detroit, I don't even remember putting on my seatbelt. I woke up when I was in the States. So that was pretty great. Would I ever want to host a panel at C2E2? Yes, I would. Carrie's here. Hello, Carrie. She wants to know what gave you the strongest goosebumps at Celebration. When Daisy Ridley walked out as Rey, and the way the crowd reacted, that was phenomenal. The Mulders cannot wait for more Rey. I agree with that. Greg seconds that. What was the first thing I purchased? So I bought some fun shirts at Celebration. The Bad Baby one, and I got a blue Star Wars Celebration one that they print. What surprised me the most? Daisy Ridley, definitely. Josh is doing double duty with Mandalorian Picard Season 3. It's excellent. I heard it's great. What is my next book project? Well, Alex, I can't say, buddy, but it's going to be fun. I can tell you that. Josh says, we did Japan. I would go on a tour of Toho for Godzilla and Subaru's production for Ultraman. It would be a lot to see. That'd be awesome. Mary says, Christina rocked the live stage all weekend. Yes, she did. She's super fun. We hung out a little bit. She and I and Clayton. She's pretty awesome. All right, I'm going to go full screen here. Let's do it. All right, now I'm going to make sure. So from what I can tell, There are 19 of you on this call, so I'm going to get everybody's names down. Let's have everybody just sign in now if you would like to be someone who would like to win the Bo-Katan helmet. Anything Alex told me off mic? I can't remember. So okay, sign in or just log in and say me or I want the Bo-Katan helmet or something like that, and I'll write your name down. So Dave. Mary says no because she's already got a helmet. Okay, Mary, I appreciate that. Jen. Terry. Ross. Alex. Minta. Okay. Brian. Frank. I'll put Frank and Amy in there. PT is here as Jen's invited guest. Wonderful. So PT, and I'll put Jen in again. Thank you very much. Kathy is in, and she won't share with Dave. I don't believe that. Julie. Blake. And Carrie, your comment's not showing up. It just has your name, but I'm assuming that you want to win the helmet as well. All right, I'm going to read off all the names. Make sure I didn't forget anybody. So we've got Dave, Jen, Terry, Ross, Alex, Mita, Brian, Frank, Amy, PT, Jen, again, Kathy, Julie, Blake, Carrie. Darren, you are in there now too. Okay. So who else got a double entry besides Jen? So because I said if you bring somebody, they get an entry, but you get a double entry. So Jen did. David Motters. I'm going to put Jason in, and I'm going to put Henrik in. I'm going to put you both in for one. And I know you'll both share anyway if you win. Okay, great. So I think that is everybody. So that's 1, 2. Does your dog count? Unfortunately, no, although I love dogs. So kudos on that end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I always take my homework seriously, dude. I appreciate that, Jen, and I would expect nothing less. Okay. I am going to do this. We've got 19 entries. Let's do a randomizer, and we've got... Sorry for the suspense. The number is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minta, you are the winner. Congratulations. Let's do an applause for Minta. Minta has won the Bo-Katan helmet. Congratulations, Minta. I will send you a message later, and you can send me your address, and I will be sure to get that out to you. Congratulations, everybody. You know what? 1 second. I'm going to give out another prize. I got a lot of stuff. 1 second. Actually, I've got a couple. I've got a Paz Vizsla. And I've got a Black Series Dark Trooper. So I've got these two as well. I get so much stuff all the time. I'm very, very blessed. Hasbro and a lot of other companies are very, very kind to me. So I am going to give those away as well. If any of you don't want this Paz Vizsla Vintage Collection Deluxe figure or the Black Series Dark Trooper, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to put your name in the little list. All right, Mary, you're on the list. Minta, I don't think you'll be eligible for this because you won the helmet, but I think you're probably okay with that. Okay, David's in there too. Yeah, I love giving stuff away, so this is fun. And I got lots of stamps, so don't you worry about that, friends. Don't you worry one bit. Okay, no one has said no. So let's go back and see. First, let's give away the Paz Vizsla. The winner of that is Frank Moeller. You have won Paz Vizsla. Congratulations. Congratulations to Frank. Frank, go ahead and send me your address. And I will get that out to you. The last one is the Dark Trooper. the Black Series Dark Trooper. Everybody else wants one thing. I love that everybody's congratulating him. That's so wonderful. And if you didn't win, don't be discouraged. I'm telling you, there's plenty of stuff to give away here at Coffee with Kenobi. I'm more than happy to share the great things that we have here. All right, here we go. This is the way. This is the way. Okay, let's see who wins the Black Series Dark Trooper. Okay. David Motters, you have won the Dark Trooper, my friend. David Motters has won the Dark Trooper. There you go. Well, now we've given away everything that we're going to give away for tonight. So I think that's pretty cool. Can we please give Dan a round of applause for covering Celebration? Well, that's very kind of you, man. I really appreciate that. It was fun. It was a great time. I had a great time doing that. I want to thank all of you for joining me. My hope, selfishly, is it selfish? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I like seeing all of you. And the more of you that are here on Coffee with Kenobi, the better, right? It's so much better. I do want to point out a pretty major schedule change for everybody. Oh, no, that's not right. Did I upload this? I think I did. So for the foreseeable future, we're going to shift CWK Live to Mondays. Now, I like doing them on Tuesdays, especially during football season. But honestly, here's the deal. Mason's baseball season starts tomorrow, and which is why one of the reasons the show is tonight. And his games are on Tuesday nights, among a few other nights during the week. And I don't want to miss Mason's baseball games. I love you all, but Mason is my son, one of my 3 sons, so I got to watch him play. And I'm going to do that. But he never has any games on Monday. So every Monday night through June, there might be one time where we have to shift that around because of a scheduling thing. But for the most part, I'm going to be Mondays through June at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So hopefully you can all join me on our new date on Mondays through June. That'll be This Is the Way for the foreseeable future as we get into baseball season. Let's see. This was great. Happy to join the Alliance for some fun. Yes, thank you. Appreciate you being a member of the CWK Alliance. Yes, family is always first. I knew you would appreciate that, everyone. Enjoy the finale next week. PT, thanks for joining us. Hope you come back next time. Jason, thank you so much. Henrik, great to see you, buddy. Minta, may the force be with you. Mason, Blake says Mason's going to be a Little League All-Star. Look, the kid's a switch hitter. I'm pretty proud of that. Hashtag proud biased dad. But hey, he's doing great. He works hard. Thank you for joining us, Carrie. Thanks to everyone who joined us, both regular members of the CWK Alliance, CWK Live, and those of you who just joined the show. If you're having a ball, I'm telling you, space is so limited, but in a few months, we're going to go on the Star Cruiser, June 12th to the 14th. Me and many listeners, courtesy of Coffee with Kenobi and MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Go to coffeewithkenobi.com/mousefan-travel to get a no-cost, no-obligation quote, or if you want to use them to book your summer vacation. They are amazing, and I can't recommend them enough. Ross says, thanks, Dan. Welcome back, and thanks for spreading extra cheer. Hey, my pleasure, bud. My absolute pleasure. It's an absolute delight. Have I seen the finale? I have not. I'm really looking forward to it. Jen says, our song is not yet written. Can't wait for the finale. Thanks, Dan. Thank you, Jen. Yes, welcome new members. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. May the stars light all of your way. I'm going to go play some basketball with Mason and get ready for tomorrow. Thanks again, everybody. It was a great night. I can't wait to talk about the finale with you. We'll see you real soon. Remember, this is the podcast you're looking for. Thanks again, everybody.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.